Hey guys and girls, I'm James and welcome to the channel. Well, look what came last week when I was out of town. My DJI Mini 3, about a month late, so I'll still have some reviews coming out on this. But last month I was gone. I was at the Energy Drone and Robotics Summit in the Woodlands, Texas, which is just outside of Houston. I don't know why they name it that. It should be called the Cool Drone Show because there's some really cool drones there. There was over 100 exhibitors showing new technology and new concepts in drones. So I got to about half of them, so I'm going to show you some snidbits. Snidbits, is that a word? I'll show you some clips of each of some of the interviews that I think are my top ones from drone service providers that are hiring for drone pilots all over the nation, to mapping software, to new concepts in drones. Like, look at this thing with these adjustable props that tilt into the wind. That's really cool. So they're constantly coming up with new eVTOLs, underwater drones, mapping software, drone management systems. There's so many different things that were there. I mean, there was no way you could get around and see everything in 3 days even. Also, while I was there, I did get appointed to the AUVSI Lone Star Committee, the board. I am the Director of Training and Education, so I'm really looking forward to that. So what is AUVSI? Well, it's kind of like what NRA is to guns. AUVSI is that to drones. So it's the largest nonprofit organization, very large, for the advancements of safety and education of drones and to fight for our rights with the FAA and to be our advocate for hobby and commercial drone pilots. Let's dive in. I'll kind of come in between some of them, but I'm going to just show you my top 10 little clips from each one, and then let's dive in. All right, guys, we are here with Jessica Slaughter. All right, FlyGuys, where are y'all based out of?
We are based out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay. Home of Lauren Daigle.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
My wife says I'm obsessed with her. All right, so back to FlyGuys. So how many pilots do y'all have?
We have 5,600 pilots in our network.
5,600.
Yes.
So is it a job per job basis, or do they work full time for you, or do you put a job out and then they kind of say, okay, they check that box?
Yeah, so they're all contract based. We do have in-house pilots as well, but the majority of them do work on a contract basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we do is we have in-house project managers. They help project manage all of the missions, so they coordinate with the pilots. They have really good relationships with them, and so they know what type of jobs they're able to take.
Okay. An hourly rate, or it's more of a job by job rate?
Yes.
You get paid travel time, or do you try to find them pretty close?
We try and find them pretty close, but just depending on what equipment and where they're located and what the specs for the job are, just depends on everything.
I mean, you're all over the cell phone towers, pipelines,
cell phone towers, that's right. So we do LiDAR collection for civil engineers and land surveyors. We do thermal inspections for solar panel analysis. We do mapping. We do it all.
Awesome. Yeah. And how long have you been in business?
We've been in business since 2014. Yeah, what's really important for us is the value of our pilots. So we see value in our pilots as an asset for us as well. We want the best pilots to fly with us, so we actually really focus on pilot care, treating our pilots fairly, paying them fair wages, as well as like training as well.
Of course, you require 107s and everything. But
that's right. Yes.
Insurance, and you also supply that, or is that
We do have an umbrella policy, but we like for our pilots to have their own insurance as well.
Acquiring data is the easy part. Processing it is the hard part.
Right.
So do they turn it over to you to process, or do they deliver you a whole package, or does that vary?
Yeah, so they just turn it over to us and we take care of everything else.
I
All
see.
they've got to do is the data collection. It's a win-win situation.
That's the hard part. Flying, it's
It
easy.
is.
It's when
Right.
you get home, what do you do with it?
Exactly.
That takes a long time to
Exactly.
start layering everything. Yeah.
Exactly. And so they upload directly to our project management platform. We download it, QA, QC it. If we need to post-process it, we do that internally, and then we re-upload it to our platform and deliver it to our client. So it's all packaged together.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we are here with Fred, and how do you pronounce your last name, Fred?
Bedard.
Bedard. Is that French?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
All right, and we are here with, I think, the coolest looking drone I've ever seen in my life. And how do you pronounce that?
Commaris.
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 Okay. And how long y'all been in business?
This September will be about a year.
A year?
Actually.
Oh, wow, you're brand new.
Yeah,
Every
technology and people with different ideas are coming on. In particular, this is really a commercial drone. It's intended for flying long distances and staying up for a very long time. It's got a top speed of 75 miles an hour, and it can stay aloft for, depending on payload, it can stay aloft for over 3 hours of time. Some of the features, obviously, is a VTOL. It takes off and lands vertically, so you don't need a runway. Once it gets up to altitude, the pusher comes on. Another very unique feature is when the pusher comes on, it goes virtually silent. So flying over residential areas, unless you see it, you won't know it's there. We have 2 battery compartments. These are not pontoons, as some people might think.
That's what I just asked.
Yeah. So the batteries just basically pop in the side here. We've got an 18,000 milliamp, a 24,000 milliamp, a 28,000 milliamp, and a 32,000 milliamp. So you can balance the amount of time you want along with the weight of the battery and your payload. So you got a lot of flexibility.
Do they use their own payload as far as LiDAR thermal imaging? Or
We'll integrate,
You'll integrate
if it's some. So we basically have a methane sensor. We're at a methane show. We have a methane sensor on here right now.
Is this the ground station over here?
It is.
Oh, it looks like an old military one, doesn't it?
Yep.
It looks a lot like what they use for the military.
Yeah, we have this mainly because we're out a lot of the time. We're in desert locations and rough environments, and so you need a ground control station that has that capability to withstand the elements. And it's also pilotless in the sense that it's fully automated. So it's touchscreen. You drop pins and you control it through a touchscreen, not through a joystick.
Right.
We do have a second station with a sensor operator. Has a joystick and controls the sensor depending on what it is, such as a gimbal camera. So we have EOIR cameras. We have military versions of EOIR cameras now on it. We have a methane sensor. We can also put multispectral for agricultural plant use and so forth. We have one of those. And we can basically connect just about any payload you want because, again, we're the manufacturer. We can build the adapters and install it onto the aircraft. So here's some interesting features here. With regards to the control surfaces and redundant, we have 2 ailerons on each side, so you could lose a pair of ailerons and still fly. Elevator, we have 2, and each has their own servo, so you could lose a pair. So you can essentially lose all your control surfaces, half of them, and still fly the aircraft. Another unique feature, even though it's a 15-foot wingspan, this will assemble and disassemble in 3 minutes.
Wow.
So no screws or bolts. We have Sicura latches. The wing comes off, the battery pack comes off, and this all unit fits in a single case that fits into an SUV.
Okay.
So very compact. Empty weight, that's weight without a payload of batteries, is 24 pounds. And it's all solid carbon fiber built.
So you can be in the air with some really nice equipment for under 50 and still stay under 55.
Yes,
obviously
other countries don't have that, and we can carry maybe about 62 total weight. And so if you're not regulated or have a waiver, we can carry bigger payloads.
Is it about in the 6-figure price range?
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
So aircraft, batteries, a laptop, ground antenna is list price $100,000.
Okay.
So this is like a 4th generation of our ultrasonic crawlers. So this is something that a service company would use to go stick it on a tank or like a storage tank or a pipeline, and it essentially uses magnetic wheels, and it drives across your asset and takes measurements. We can go down to a resolution of about 25 thousandths of an inch, and so you're taking thickness measurements using ultrasound, which bounces a sound wave through a material to measure how thick it is. And that's one thing that water tank is actually a great thing to bring up, because that's a situation where this drone project they're working on could be applied, because you might have a concrete tower with a metal tank at the top. You can't walk up and stick this on the tank. So this project we're working on here miniaturizes our crawler product into a small 1.5 pound crawler that we're then deploying using a drone. So the drone flies up, releases the crawler onto the tank, and that will then be individually driven to drive and take the inspections up on that asset.
So you'll do training?
Some of our customers have other technologies they use, like phased array and like EMAT. We don't specialize in that type of technology, so we also provide third-party compatibility. Usually that means outputting our encoder feedback so that their instruments know where that system's at, so they can accurately link the ultrasonic data with the position. So yeah, here's a video of the thing operating. You can see how the drone is deploying the scanner onto the plate. And then here, one operator is controlling the crawler and driving it, doing the scan, while the drone operator just maintains proximity.
It's a dual ground station?
Yes. Yeah, there is. Yeah, the crew typically be two people, one pilot, and then the other one as the UT tech who's worried about gathering the data and driving the cart.
Wow, look at that. I mean, what are they going to think of next?
We're based out of Longview, Texas. It's about 2 hours east of Dallas. So, thank you.
All right, guys, we are here with Michael Hill. Michael, where are y'all based out of?
So the company is headquartered out of Toronto, Canada. We have offices in Canada, North America, South America, and the UK.
And how long y'all been in business?
Been in business 6 years now. It kind of evolved from a corporate leasing jet company into we're the largest drone service provider in North America. We've got an air cargo division. We've got a defense division. We've got a manufacturing division.
Yeah, you definitely have the most impressive
Thank
display
you.
here at the
Thank you.
convention. Yeah.
Yeah, this is our AV drone. We're getting ready to do a shore to rig delivery program with a major oil and gas company. So we're really excited. We go out into the Gulf of Louisiana here in July and start kicking the program off. But
So before payload, is it over 55 pounds?
it is. Yeah, it is. What's interesting, again, it can carry up to this version can carry up to 50 pounds, go 100 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. And what's interesting is the cargo, the box can be corrugated plastic, insulated, heated, cold. You can hold up to 3 cargo
Is it all
boxes.
autonomous? Or?
Yeah. And what's interesting, you have, especially on the rig, you have to hand it off to somebody that's on the rig, so it goes from point A to point B. Yeah. And then deadheads back, or flies to another rig.
The speed?
About 60 miles an hour. Depends on the payload, depends on weather and all of that.
So it almost looks adjustable, but it's not. Yeah.
This actually is the catch and release system.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, so when it lands on the platform, it releases the package. There's also a parachute option if we had to drop the package in on a parachute.
Is there multiple ground stations, or does it have one base unit?
You only really need one, but typically our oil and gas clients, they want it handed off to somebody.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
so
daisy chain it?
yeah, exactly right. So it launches from, and it's fully autonomous. You go here, go there at this altitude, but a lot of those flight safety officers, they want it handed off to somebody that's on the rig.
We'll go down.
These are all built here in Houston.
Wow. So
Yeah.
so they're blue?
Are they blue UAS?
Uh-huh.
They're not on the official list, but what is the Spirit right here.
Okay.
This was just added to the blue UAS list. It's the Ascend Spirit.
Okay.
Camera, multiple camera sensors. This is the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was actually just added to the blue UAS list.
Is that maybe to stay in one spot for a long time, or is it?
Fly. You could tether. There is a tethering option. Public safety, like Houston PD was here, they're very interested in it, but really towards public safety.
Yeah, because it's so small.
Right, and it's a blue UAS, so it's manufactured in Boston.
Boston. And how about this bad boy?
This one here is actually going to the UK as part of a chemotherapy delivery program. It's actually shipping out tomorrow, going to the UK.
The organs and.
Yeah, delivering those organs, delivering that chemo. But it's actually headed over there today. It's gas powered. And then this one, it's also built here in Houston. This one here is built in Houston, and it's the equivalent to DJI's M300. What's unique is the gimbal that's on it that fits a whole array of camera payloads.
What's the flight time of this one?
Same as the M300, price point's the same as M300. It is an almost exact duplicate of the M300, but it's built in the US.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's built here in Houston.
All right, guys, we are here with Duran. Just one Duran, right? Not Duran.
No.
I'm just joking. And Matthew, and where y'all based out of?
Toronto, Canada.
Toronto.
Yep.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yes, sir.
And we are with SkyGauge Robotics, who has one of the coolest looking drones I've ever seen.
Wanna hit the stay
We'll see
button?
that in a minute. I've got video of it doing that. Yeah, yesterday. So is that to fight wind wind blast, or what's that for?
It's to maintain its positional accuracy while it's in the air.
Right, while it's in the air.
So it relies on those servo arms and motors to do basically all the work, so the center of the drone
because
stays.
when it's doing those inspections, it could probably get a lot of wind shear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It counters it very well. It does a lot of micro adjusting, so that it can maintain itself where it needs to be.
So here is it testing the thickness of the erosion for this. Is that what it's doing right there?
Yeah, that's correct.
With sound waves, or what is it using?
Ultrasonic testing.
Okay, cool. And is this the ground station?
That's right. That is our GCS unit, alongside of our software program that extrapolates all the UT data coming from the drone to the laptop, and then the operator's running on the GCS station.
Acquiring the data is the easy part. Processing it is the hard part.
It can be, but we can extrapolate all the data to put it into a deliverable product, depending on the scale of job and how much data we're actually retrieving from the job. So the turnover can be, a day to a couple of days, more or less, right? Depending on what the work scope requires, right?
The flight time?
Flight time is anywhere from 8 to 9 minutes per set of batteries.
Okay.
And that's depending on the environment it's working in.
And how many of these are in service right now?
So right now we have 3 prototype units that we have developed. This is one of 3 that you see now, but we have about a half a dozen in production now that will be fully built and developed by the end of the summer.
Okay. And price point, 30?
So price point, we don't offer it as a one-off sell unit. We actually lease it over a year and then provide all the manufacturing.
Oh, that's a smart.
Right?
Really?
Yeah. So again, what you're seeing there is we manufacture and design and build this drone. What you see here, we don't outsource or anything like that. We might for parts certain things that we need to get to build it, but everything is built in Canada for this unit here.
Really? So it's injecting a fluid?
Yes, correct. So when we are out in field deployment, and again when we fly up to our working area, whether it be a beam, tank, pipe, or whatever have you, before contact is made, we hit a function on our controller that auto dispenses a small amount of solution before it makes contact on the wall, so that makes that reading validated before we get on the wall, more or less, right? And it injects that little bit there, and then once it comes in, it does its readings, gives us our information on the laptop.
So this is holding it in position.
Yes.
Better.
And if it's windy out and it's having to do anything, it's going to be counter-adjusting itself.
So it only needs how long?
5-10 seconds.
5 to 10 seconds. Yeah.
And it pulls off, and the motors go back, and it goes into idle. And that's what's left on the wall after.
You think it would take hours?
No, it's pretty quick.
I don't know. About 30 minutes.
What's the weight?
572 pounds.
She lifts 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, it'll carry twice.
Easily. It's going to be even more once I take the power up on her to 480 kilowatts. Right now we're at 336, we're going to go to 480. And then we can dump about 3,000 pounds on the bottom of her and she'll scream for more.
How's it going?
All right, guys, we are here with Steven, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce your last name.
Steven Macion, yes.
And what is that, French?
It's Polish.
Polish,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so while we have SkyFront here, the longest endurance multi-rotor UAS. Wow,
Yes.
that's a big claim.
It's a big claim, and we can back it up. So this drone right here is called the Perimeter 8. It has the world record flight time at 13 hours and 3 minutes consecutively. The current configuration that you're looking at right now can fly up to 5 hours with no payload, and we carry a wide range of payloads from LiDAR to magnetometers, multispectrals, thermal. So we provide a lot of options for customers in across the world.
And so it's got a LiDAR on it now.
Yes, that is the Phoenix Ranger Ultra with a RGB camera on the back. That will pulse up to 1.8 million pulses per second. And the mirror that they have inside of the LiDAR sensor allows for 3 laser pulses at once, one nadir, one 10 degrees forward, and one 10 degrees backward.
Okay.
So essentially for a lot of linear infrastructure companies such as like power line inspections, With other LiDAR sensors, you might have to fly 1 or 2 to 3 flight lines. With this sensor, you can do it in 1 flight line. So,
can it be flown autonomously, or that's all in the programming?
So with our mission planner, you can plan out your mission, and the drone will go along those paths and meet those waypoints. But you also have the ability to control it by hand, obviously.
So long pipelines?
Long pipelines, power lines, land survey, surveillance.
Disaster relief?
Disaster relief mitigation, Yeah, this the company's been around for about, I believe, 8 years. And
where are you based on?
Redwood City, California.
Okay. So tell me what's underneath that.
So that is a synthetic aperture radar. As much as it looks like torpedoes or missiles, that's not going to harm anybody. That sensor is used for tank detection, and the DoD uses it. So it would be a great application in Ukraine right now.
Yeah, it really would be. Yeah, cool. And what, about 100,000?
What, for the sensor or for the drone?
No, for the whole drone.
For the drone, we start out at $46,800.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with the LiDAR on it?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's a larger loan that you need for the LiDAR.
Yeah. That's a house.
Yeah, that's a house. Yeah. It's a house, but after a couple of missions, you already pay it off.
Yeah, you can pay for yourself really quick. Yeah. Because that is so valuable to so many people. All right, well, thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. Guys, we are here with Austin Rains with Frontier Precision Unmanned. That's a big word. Yeah. So what do y'all do?
So we're primarily a product sales company. So we sell a multitude of drones from a multitude of different manufacturers, and we do services and trainings on those products. But yeah.
So you'll train?
Yeah, so with all product sales, we'll go and train you as well. So first day is usually data acquisition in the field. Second day is post-processing, showing you how to get to your deliverable, basically.
So if someone comes to you and they want to get into drones, they tell you what you need and you say this, you try to set them up with the best platform.
Exactly, yeah. We try to find the right solution for whatever they're after. So if that's public safety, we direct them in the right direction. If that's for the survey mapping world, we'll equip them with the solution that they're after and the price range they're after, because with LiDAR and photogrammetry, prices. We do, yeah. So the Alta X right here.
Tell me about this big bad boy.
Yeah, so this is the Alta X from FreeFly. It's our #1 large frame. So for large payloads, it's going to be the one that we recommend. And it's on the Blue List 2.0. So the Alta X Blue, it's going to be compliant with government agencies. And so if you need to be in that spectrum, then it will be compliant with that as well.
So I know this is a bad question, but how much is that camera?
So this LiDAR sensor right here is the Yellowscan VX20, and it's running you about $180,000. Yes, sir.
How fast can you make your money back?
That's exactly what we try to market, is the return on investment on these things. You do one to two projects with that, and it's going to pay for itself, and then you just get the revenue from that.
You do 10 missions with it?
Exactly. So it's an initial, pretty big upfront.
It's scary.
It is.
People don't realize the data that thing can produce.
Oh, it offers 5 returns, so 5 echoes. So you're really getting that intense vegetation penetration. It's a really, really strong scanner. So it's gonna get you that true ground, because that's what all surveyors are after. It's, go and fly a drone over and a LiDAR sensor and really attack the ground and get you that clean ground. So you can classify all the above ground features out and then get you.
Overlay the data.
Exactly. So
you've already mapped it. You know where your geospots are.
Yep, and then we'll usually set ground control out. So we'll have a surveyor out there. He'll go shoot those ground control points, and then we'll go post process and pull it up to their control.
The surveying industry is not like it.
They are. They definitely.
No, they don't like that.
Oh, they do. They think it's taking their jobs, but it definitely is not. It's just kind of changing them. But it is a very good tool, and we're seeing it utilized in the industry widely. So we're located all over America. I'm located out of our Dallas-Fort Worth office. We have offices in Bismarck, North Dakota, Maple Grove, Minnesota, Denver, Colorado.
And so your website?
So frontierprecision.com. Yep.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
What is this?
Hey guys.
What is this? Are we on video right now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's your road right there, baby.
It's like, hello everybody. We're going to be doing a live stream here across LinkedIn and Full Crew and all of my different
tell us
platforms.
who you are and what you do.
Who I am and what I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Dawn Zoldai. I'm the CEO of P3 Tech Consulting. This is a microphone. Now I get it.
Okay.
I'm the CEO of P3 Tech Consulting, and I do a lot of things. I do consulting as well as 3 different podcasts, 2 different drop-in audio chats, and if you can show them, James, this table, you can see that I prolifically write for a whole host of magazines. So we're going to be going live here in a couple minutes, doing a live stream with some of our panelists that we just had, and special guests like John McBride from Autel.
See, I thought your name would be Mary if he's Jesus.
So anyway, great to see everybody out there. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Good. All right, guys, we're here with Andrew Lawrence of, you don't have to name your company up here.
Yeah. Deep Trucker.
Deep Trucker.
Yeah, we really maximized the logo there.
Yeah, really. Some people just have models out that look like they've never been used. These things look like they've been used, put through the...
Yeah, absolutely. These ones have been really put through their paces. A couple weeks ago, this was out in New Brunswick in Maine with me, since they're in a high current area and it might have got a little banged up. But it's good to bring these banged up robots out to the show because it emphasizes industrial credibility that we have. You know, the bulk of our customers are putting these robots through hell, and they keep ticking.
Keep ticking.
All of our robots are tethered.
They're all tethered.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tether is may be seen as burdensome by some who have most experience with aerial drones, but it's actually a very useful tool. First and foremost, the tether is used to transmit the data, so the video signal from our camera, and then also the controls down to the robot. The tether also is an extremely useful retrieval device. So these tethers are going to have a minimum of 300-pound brake on them, so they are extremely strong. You do not have to be afraid to break off the tether. I've only heard about it happening once, and that was involving a very strong, powerful boat motor. This is one of our controller options here.
Or what would be called a water station since it's a...
Yeah, water station, exactly. So this controls everything you see here on the robot, the thrusters, which I could fire up here.
So, like on bridge inspections, that's probably where these are being used a lot, right?
Certainly, we're seeing more and more with the age of infrastructure here in the country. Organizations like the Bureau of Rec and the Army Corps are increasingly looking to use these on infrastructure inspections. I think we've got about a half a dozen of these equipped on nuclear subs now in the States. Yeah. But we deal with navies all across the world. We've, of course, dealt with the U.S. Navy, the Canadian Navy, currently we have a couple of trainers working in Brunei right now with their Navy. Often the repairs can be done by the customer. If this happens to get bashed up in the field, we can often just ship out replacement parts, and it's quite easy to put that together. Depending on the complexity of the repairs, the unit could be sent back to Canada for repairs, or it could be sent to any of our reseller partners. It just depends on the complexity of the repair. We do have other styles of grabber as well, so we have ones that are specifically designed to lock around wrists and ankles. We have a whole host of water sampling devices, sediment sampling devices too. We're even seeing our customers go out and 3D print specific tools or tools specific to their operations that are compatible with this worm gear here.
And what's the max depth of them?
These will go down to 1,000 feet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's no light past there anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly. And these robots here are equipped with quite a few different sources of light. For example, this one here has 2 sets of LEDs here, then these floodlights, and then it also has some auxiliary lights on the outside there. This one starts at 35 US, and this one starts at 16 US. And that little guy over there starts at 8,500. I have customers in the nuclear space specifically who said that the robot pays for itself before the first dive is even over.
Oh, wow.
Because nuclear divers are extremely expensive and scarce. If they can get eyes underwater, inside of a minute, basically is the setup time for this robot, that's paid for itself very, very quickly. estimate the ROI on these robots because oftentimes it's not a stretch to say that we're saving lives,
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly
We're
what
keeping
I was gonna
divers
say.
out of the water. Website, go to deeptrekker.com or pipetrekker.com, which is, you can see the Pipe Trekker here. Pipe Trekker is our line of submersible crawling robots that are extremely useful, not only for pipe inspections, but many of our customers are using these devices to deliver their drones or deliver the range extenders on their drones.
Water tanks and stuff? Or?
Water tanks, absolutely. Any kind of confined space, and increasingly, customers that would normally use aerial drones to do their inspections are moving towards these because the aerial drones pick up dust and pick up humidity and pick up droplets of water, where this thing is virtually unstoppable in the face of those adversities.
Right. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
The most popular mapping software people use is Drone Deploy.
Bryce Roberts.
All right, Bryce.
Senior Solutions Engineer at Drone Deploy.
So where y'all based out of?
We are based out of San Francisco.
Okay. All right. So you
Based
just
out of
work,
San Francisco.
You work remotely?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. We have a pretty remote workforce, actually. Pretty large U.S. footprint, and also down in New Zealand and Australia. On my team, we've got people from the West Coast spread all the way through to the
So how
East
long has
Coast.
Drone Deploy been around?
10 years as of last month, right? 2 months ago. 10 years. Just celebrated our 10-year anniversary.
Wow. And y'all, and how many subscribers do you think you got?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
About
I actually don't know the number.
Probably half the industry.
I don't know the exact number.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Over 5,000 customers.
Over 5,000 customers. So, and then who knows on the subscribing,
Right.
how many licenses per?
So capturing data is the easy part.
Sure.
It's processing it is
Yeah.
the hard part.
Yeah, the processing, it's kind of like a recipe, right? For
Right.
somebody who's making like a cake or something like that. You can have all of the individual components, but you have to know how to combine them together to actually make something that's really.
So with you, they can pick different platforms of how they want to process everything.
For us, they're going to be using different flight methods
Right.
for how to capture the data up front, and with those different flight methods, we're going to process it appropriately based off of our best practices that we found for those different types of flights.
And you definitely have the most user-friendly.
We like to think we do.
Easiest to learn.
Pretty
walking
intuitive.
Through it. You can watch 2 or 3 YouTube channels and learn it in an hour or two.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's you can definitely get pretty knowledgeable pretty quickly on the software. We try to make it as intuitive as
When
possible.
you get to LiDAR and thermal, it gets a little bit more harder. But
There's those elements you might need a little bit more YouTube channels to be able to understand exactly. Yeah.
So I have one friend. He created 13 different emails to get his month free. So then they finally got caught.
So we do have people now looking at stuff like that to make sure. I actually looked at myself not too long ago, and I had like 3 or 4. So
Yeah.
I'm a little bit guilty of it myself
guilty.
before coming to Drone Deploy.
All right, man. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Look forward to
Appreciate it.
Thanks. I actually know these guys.
Yeah.
So Drones Plus, based out of Dallas. Is there only one location?
There is one location. It's us.
Yeah, yeah. So when you're out flying, you crash your drone.
We're the guys.
So how many people are shipping to you?
Oh, we
Percentage
still
wise.
get quite a few shipments. Farthest shipment we've seen is from Alaska. We get quite a few customers calling from Alaska, and
How long y'all been in business?
almost 7 years.
Wow.
We opened up in 2015.
Yeah, so it's
we
only been
launched
10 years.
right around the time when the Phantom 3 release.
Wow, that's
Yeah, and so we got into it pretty early before any of the real commercial side of DJI, which is what we mainly sell, really launched. So
are
the
you
repair
Are
business.
you an official DJI distributor?
We are an official
are?
enterprise distributor, and yeah, we've been with DJI since really the beginning, since that exponential growth.
So what is this?
That is
Oh,
a
a sniffer
sniffer
for methane?
Yeah, for methane detection.
Yeah, wow.
Well, not only methane. I mean, you can detect any of these gases. So pretty much any gas that is going to be given off by wellheads is, you have the option to detect.
So this is for mainly for doing bridges if you mount it on top?
Right, yeah, that
Maybe
top-mounted gimbal, you're looking at mainly bridge inspections, but we just had Shell come and talk to us about they needed a top-mounted gimbal for inspecting some infrastructure underneath, just like a bridge, you know. They need some top shots.
If someone was starting a drone business,
yeah,
so they would come to you and you would say, this is what you need.
Essentially, but it's tough, you know. Starting a drone business, it's really tough. What really kept us afloat in the first couple of years in business was repairs. We used to be a franchise. Corporate was in Vegas. They had about 12, 14 locations across the country. And yeah, repairs, training. Mainly training is for our enterprise customers. So we'll do an end-to-end demo with you. Depending upon where you are, we'll deliver the equipment in person and do a half-day, full-day training, whatever gets you comfortable enough to get in the air.
So how many drones do you have in the back that are broken right now?
Oh,
About
God,
200?
probably close.
Yeah.
I'd say 100. I'd say 100 drones between
I need to
waiting
come down
for parts.
there and just video it.
Yeah, you should.
Drone graveyard.
Right.
We're currently on drone repairs 6,495.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We probably get about 100 repairs in a week.
Yeah. Wow. I'd say.
So really steady. I mean,
50 to 100. 100 on a really busy week.
Yeah, I've had two or three back there.
Oh yeah. I'd say probably 10% of the people in here have a drone for repair or had one. Yeah.
We all are the nicest guys. It's different going into a place and someone has passion about what they're doing and knows what they're doing.
Yeah, we've been in it since the start.
I can't count how many times I walked in there for a repair and y'all just fixed it on the spot.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, Irvin is the best. I mean, he's the drone wizard.
Yeah. No, it's just push this button.
Right.
I can't get my drone to connect. Well, you got to push this little
exactly.
button.
Yeah, and that's what we focus on is customer satisfaction. Whether you bought it from us or not, we want to help you.
On all the Facebook pages, I know here in the Metroplex, if anybody says anything about drone repair, there'll be like 12 comments underneath it. Drones Plus,
Drones Plus. Yeah, and we get a lot of people saying, I asked my buddy, who has a drone, where do I take my drone for repair? Drones Plus.
Yeah. All right, guys.
We have guys that drive in hours.
Yeah.
Hours. They'll drive in 8 hours just to
Weatherford, or Louisiana. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, guys. We are here with Sayed Harris.
Yep.
And where are you from?
MFE Canada.
Okay. All right.
MFE Canada.
And is that where y'all are based out of?
No, we are actually Dripping Springs, Texas. That's where our head office is. Yeah, so we're a US-based company, but we do have offices around the world. So we have a couple of offices in Canada, Dubai, Middle East, and a few in the US.
Y'all are all over.
Yep. Try to be.
And so it's FlyAbilty.
Yep.
And so inspection drones.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are partners with FlyAbilty. So they make the world's only LiDAR-enabled indoor confined space collision-tolerant inspection drone.
So there's no GPS?
There's no GPS.
Right.
It works in GPS-denied environments. You have a LiDAR payload on the back. You have a 4K camera and a thermal sensor in the front. It's not radiometric, but it's going to give you comparative analysis. But it's not super high resolution and it's not radiometric. However, your camera payload is 4K with 18,000 oblique lighting lumens.
Yeah, those lights are really bright.
Yeah, and you can switch them. You can play with your exposure and all that.
That's a lot of thrust. Yeah.
You heard the sound?
Yeah, I flew it yesterday.
Yeah. So you will have a live map of the LiDAR while you are flying. So if you're in a very dirty, dusty environments and your RGB is not very clear, you can rely on your LiDAR trajectory to follow its path. You can do 3D modeling, SLAM engine afterwards. Yeah, so it's the only drone, confined space drone, that can give you LiDAR mapping.
So how many are in service right now?
We have a lot in service around the world. Yeah. We have a lot operational. This is the newest and yes, this is operational. This is the newest model that they have right now.
And y'all offer training?
Yes, so from training, service, support, if you crash it, we support it, and if you have new pilots, we will train them and get you up and running.
It looks like it'd be pretty hard to hurt it. And I know they're expensive, but the ROI is probably pretty pretty quick.
So for us, our main vertical used to be, now we're going into different verticals, but oil and gas used to be our main vertical. And for us, in a tank inspection, you're setting up scaffolding, you're sending people inside in hazardous environments, having a gas monitor team outside monitor the gases. The tank is out of commission for a couple of weeks just for visual inspections. So now with this tool, one pilot or two pilots can get that job done in 3 to 4 to 8 hours in one day without putting the tank out of commission for 2 weeks. So the ROI is
very
right there.
So pipelines?
Absolutely.
So the range?
In direct line of sight, you can have 500 meters of range. But again, this is a confined space drone.
You turn a corner, you're going to lose it.
And then they do have a range extender for it as well. So if you have a non-line of sight environment, you have concrete breaking your signal, you can drop in a range extender, which will give you that line of sight with the drone of the controller. You can have more range.
So if it loses signal, it'll return to home?
So because there's no GPS, there's no return to home option.
Okay.
So that might be coming. We don't know yet. But because of the LiDAR, those are some of the things that are possible.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No GPS, but it might learn where it was.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Y'all got the coolest looking display here, especially with these little guys right here.
Yeah, we get some attention, for sure.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, we are here with Mark. Is that a French last name?
It is French-Canadian.
Then how do you pronounce that?
Lefebvre.
Bead. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's bird's eye aerial drones. We're out of San Diego, California.
So you're a drone service provider?
We're a drone service provider. We do aerial inspections for utility companies. We do 3D mapping, LiDAR, you name it.
So you don't sell drones, you just do the service?
Right. We fly them, we buy them. We buy them, we fly them.
Okay. Cell towers?
Pipelines, windmills.
LiDAR thermal?
Yep, LiDAR thermal.
So you have pilots all over?
We do. We have pilots all over the country.
Are you hiring?
Always hiring.
Always hiring, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially in certain areas. But yeah, we're always looking at talent. We're big on talent acquisition. We do a lot of training. New platforms because we do fly several different types of
Do you use Skybrowse and stuff, or?
No.
No, just Pix40 drone deployed?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Railroad inspections, I see?
We do. We do some railroad inspections. Erosion, a lot of environmental.
Agriculture?
Agriculture, yep.
Yeah. I've been learning more about mapping as people mapping the side of freeways for rock slides.
Yeah,
There's all kinds. You just start thinking of all the different.
We do a lot of erosion control, a lot of time lapse stuff, and then measuring the erosion of cliffs and railroads, especially along the coast of California.
Yeah, rock slides. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Absolutely.
And how many pilots do you have?
Roughly about 50.
50.
Last year we had about 50 teams in the field. We usually maintain about 30 to 40 teams.
So what do you see? I see as soon as BB loss in October of 2023 gets kicked off and people start seeing drones in the air, I think we're going to see an explosion in drones.
We are, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing it now.
Yeah, we're seeing it
and
now.
I will tell you, we do have our BVLOS waiver for our fixed wing drone. Yep.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, yeah, we're one of the few right now that
no
have
daisy chain.
No.
No, just BVLOS.
BVLOS, yeah.
Right.
I mean,
you're beyond visual line sight. Yeah.
Correct.
And so
with
what kind
one
of drone
specific drone.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
So
what you got here?
This is a Skydio, the X2E. Yeah, very, very fun drone. We use it a lot for our inspections, collision avoidance. We can get up close.
Under bridges and stuff because it points straight up.
Absolutely. Bridge inspections, utility inspections.
I mean, that's the kind of drone you can fly all day, every day.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's not really a consumer drone.
No, it's pretty fun. It's pretty easy drone to fly.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you've probably flown it or one similar, and it's pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you. And your website?
It is www.bead.global.
Cool. All right, guys, you hear that? You're looking for a job.
Yeah, we're always hiring. Reach out. Mark Lefebvre, I'm the Chief Training Officer. I'm
here with Drew Smith of Lone Star Drones. Is that Lone Star? You in Texas?
Lone Star Drone, yeah. We're based out of Arlington, Texas, but we're kind of all over the place. And in fact, we've got an operator in Australia and one in Switzerland right now. So we're big.
I was telling you, I have 10 Inspires.
They're good drones. Yeah. They're good drones. Good training drones.
The M30 though.
Right.
It's coming. Yeah.
The M30, I don't know. I don't like the non-removable gimbal. It locks you into, I mean, you're spending what you normally would spend on, say, a 210, but now you don't have the flexibility of being able to remove and interchange your gimbals. I will say this, before you go with the 30, wait just a little bit, contact us at, say, in September.
When the Inspire 3 comes out?
No.
What?
Can't say.
Oh, you can't say?
I cannot say. We are obligated by our partner not to say, but I will tell you that something's coming down the pipeline that will drastically change this market. We're talking about something that is as capable as the 30, but in a smaller form factor and is not made in China.
Okay. Oh, wow. So it's a blue drone?
It will be.
Parrot, maybe? So they come to you, they say, I want to do some LiDAR work, and you put them with the right equipment.
Our business model is primarily service related. So because we have the experience, we have the relationship with the surveyors and the geospatial folks, we will perform the LiDAR, or we'll also do consulting and get someone else's program up and running. But more than anything else, because we have the experience and we can satisfy a lot of our clients in their minority business because we're veteran owned and veteran operated, we check that block for them.
Okay.
So we take the burden and the onus of having an in-house drone program, all of the licenses, all of the insurance, all of that hardware and minutia that we would be required to maintain a drone program. Well, we take it off their plate and give them every bit of the solution at a fraction of the cost.
So really, if someone who had a business model and they wanted to get a business loan, you could put the package together and say, "This is
100%.
This is why I'm buying this, and this, and this."
Yep, 100%.
And kind of break it down to
somebody. And the big thing is we've had several clients in our experience that started out and they did what a lot of companies do, which is they buy DJI's most expensive drone, thinking it can do everything. And unfortunately, it can't. So say a electric company has a very wide service area, and they go to fly with that Matrice 300 and realize that they can't go on an airplane with those batteries.
Right, yeah.
So now they've dead-ended on that street.
Yeah.
So we'll step back, and based on what their mission criteria is, we can advise them on training, what hardware they want, and what hardware they need more than anything else. Because a lot of people don't necessarily need the capabilities of 300, so you can give them a 210 or the 30 or whatever else.
I just got the Enterprise Advanced. I'm loving that thing.
Enterprise Advanced, yeah. Absolutely. So, and again, now that we've got this other power lifter in the drone world, I think we're going to start to see even the Advanced 2 kind of fall back. We're hoping in this coming year to really put DJI in a defensive stance. I think they've dominated the market thus far.
They laid off 30% of their.
It's because, unfortunately, with
they're losing.
When they decided to leak people's data back to the motherland, they put themselves in the corner, right? And so you're starting to see government entities, the critical infrastructure folks, step back and reassess what those drone priorities are.
I mean, there's still the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
Yep, they absolutely are. And they're still going to continue to dominate the market because they have the personal drone, the non-professional drone market on lock. There's no one who can compete with them.
Yeah. I just got 3 of the Exo drones.
Yeah.
Dude, those are really
They're
good.
really good.
They're really good. They sent them to me a couple months before they were released. And
Right.
I'm really impressed with those drones.
Oh, they're good.
They're good.
Yep.
And everyone says it's a Hubsan. No, it's not. That's like calling a Mustang GT a Mustang.
Right.
It's not. It's a shell, but everything in there is different. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
I'm definitely coming to see you next week.
100%.
Yeah. Well, we'll sit down and go over more about your business model.
Yeah.
And I see that you're like me. You like to fly a PD.
Oh yeah.
You're still analog. Oh no, you're HD0. You're HD0.
So if we're doing the fun stuff, well, we're getting super close. That the zero latency, the analog still wins the day.
It still does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, it's old school, so.
It's old school. Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Love it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We are here with Jim, and is that a French last name?
A what?
Your last name? How do you say it?
Michael.
Michael, but is it spelled? It's a different spelling?
French. Yeah.
The French. Yeah. All right. So SkyLine Is it a mapping software or is it?
It's a 3D photogrammetry software that takes imagery and LiDAR from almost any sensor, and it builds out robust, accurate 3D models, 2D orthos, digital surface models, point clouds, for quite a few different industries.
Okay. So cell phone towers.
So some of our biggest clients are utility inspections, both power and telecom. They will fly utility towers with their drones. They'll build the 3D models. We have a GIS analytics software that'll let them inspect and add notes and features into it. And also even in the survey and planning, so they'll map areas where they're going to lay new infrastructure. You can simulate in the software as well, so you can add potential sites, potential objects before you start construction.
So it's thermal imaging, LiDAR, all that's going to be included?
Yep. Yeah. So our software will work with any standard GIS formats, imagery, 3D, and LiDAR.
Surveying?
Yep.
Because there's a big difference between surveying and mapping. Because, surveying, you got to have that point.
Yes.
So you got to go in there and get your point set. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So typically they go together because to get accurate mapping, most people want their maps to be exactly where they are on Earth.
Right.
Yes, in centimeter accuracy. So the surveying part can be laying the ground control points and getting those points, and then we use those in the software to build very accurate models.
Right.
So if you have survey ground control points, you can build an entire digital twin 3D model that is accurate to within 2 centimeters.
2 centimeters, yeah. What's the training for this?
We have some different training programs. We have trials for our software. We have a training team that'll teach you different pieces of the software. Typically, we'll understand what your workflows are. Once we do that, we can kind of design a little bit of custom training for each user. We have both on-premise and cloud solutions, so some of our users don't want to use or learn to use robust desktop software, so they can input their imagery into the cloud and just get their results.
Okay.
Others do want the desktop software, which lets them do a lot of advanced capabilities, advanced analytics, and they come down and check that out. And here you're seeing some automated change detection based on volume for construction.
Correct. So
the construction industry flies with drones every couple of weeks and then monitors the amount of change that's happened in those projects.
Yeah, the survey industry is not happy about this.
You can do a lot now with a drone and some software.
Yeah. You got 3 guys out there for 3 days, and a drone can go up and do this in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes in a flight and then a few hours of processing, and you can have all sorts of answers.
It's changing the world. It's changing the way world builds. Yeah.
And it's just fun to fly.
Yeah, it's a lot of beautiful. And I'm sure the price point is based upon what package you want.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
So, we have entry-level price points, and we have price points that go up to, we specialize in large-scale projects, disaster relief, entire cities. So it's really based on the amount of data and the amount of projects you're going to be doing in any given year.
And how long have you been in business?
About 20 years.
20 years, wow.
Yes.
Okay, so
But we
different software solutions.
Yes. Yeah, and we started with a lot of the bigger agencies, and then now we're starting to move more into the commercial side and the small engineering firms.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thanks so much, Jim.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you
so much. All right, guys, we are here. I don't even know how to pronounce that. How would you? Votix. I would have pronounced it wrong. And we are here with Ed. And Ed, your last name?
Bucas.
Bucas. And you're Italian?
Italian. Bucas is, I'm half Italian, half Spanish, but I have Italian citizenship. And I'm half Italian, American as well. So I live in Miami. We are based in Miami.
Now, my grandmother was from Spain.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have family there as well, in Italy as well. But we all from Miami. So Votix is an American company. We created the concept of drone orchestration. So that's what we do. We connect all the moving parts of the drone program. So the whole ecosystem of drones, you have many moving parts, such as requests coming from corporate systems. You have to integrate to be able to fly, of course, with traffic management systems, with collision avoidance systems. You even get FAA approval to do lands, whatever, if you don't have a waiver. And you have many moving parts, and also have drone-in-a-box solutions, and you have all those, right? So we connect all those and make sense and make it easy for you to operate. So that's how the concept we created. It's drone orchestration, and inside of that concept, we broke it down in 3 products. which is manage, stream, and fly. So as you can read there, everything you need to manage, stream, and fly your drones. So manage, stream, and fly are the name of the 3 products we have. Edwin, if you want to show something in there, like maybe the platform. So what we do is in the manage...
your own proprietary software?
Yeah, proprietary software. We're a software company. In the managed side, you go from mission creation, zone creation, geofencing, and creating all the mission, creating the approval workflow.
So does it fly autonomously, or?
Yeah, that's the last one, the last piece of the puzzle that we have. Like you have manage, stream, and fly. The fly one, you can do BV loss, teleoperation. So we have, it's not here, but we have a little gate that you can put in any drone and becomes a connected drone, a smart drone.
You can get a waiver
drones.
for bead loss with it?
Yeah, we got it, yeah. We already got waivers for that in some clients that we have.
Okay.
For
fixed wing or even for the Parrot?
Not for Parrot. One of them we have, which is already public because it's already published, is with Harris Aerial. So we have with them. We have our gateway in the drone itself. They control the drone through cellular connection, LTE, and we do BV loss to do inspection of pipelines, oil pipelines. So in that case, it's gas pipelines. So that's what we do. We manage, so you can manage everything from getting your workflow to authorize your mission, your flight, from creating the mission itself, managing your fleet, importing your logs, so you can centralize all your logs into our platform. And then you also you have a standalone product as well called Stream. So you can stream any of your flights regardless if you have the other products or not. You just can use that to stream. So you want to show your flights to your customers or to your boss or to whatever, to another stakeholder. So you can do that. You can do authenticated, open, or even PIN-based to multiple people if you want to. Okay. That's the stream part. And also the last part is the fly part, where you can fly BV loss, teleoperate through the cloud, control all your missions in one place, live missions, and all this. So
and the learning curve?
And that's
do you do training?
Sorry?
Do you do training or?
Yeah, we do training, but it's very easy to use, so people can, of course, use themselves. That section he was showing is the integration with drone-in-a-box solutions that we have as well. And you can show more.
And is the pricing more? Is it a one?
No, that's price
is one box or
it's
is
very
it all
competitive. Like you can start manage $19 and go up to more.
A month?
A month, yeah.
19?
Yeah, very cheap. But the managed one, which is where you can control your data, centralize your logs, create workflows for approvals and all this. So it's a great value for the money.
And if they wanted to get the BV loss waiver package, where they could get that?
So that package starts at $99, but includes all the other 3. So
$100 a month?
$99 a month, and include the whole platform. Starts at $99, yeah. And you can fly BV loss, and you can stream your flights.
That's way cheaper than drone.
You can
deploy.
organize all the captured media and all the captured data in one place by mission, by flight history, and have everything correlated and concentrated in one place. And even integrate with your collision avoidance systems and traffic management systems, weather control. We support Parrot as well. We support many DJI, all Mavic-based. We pretty much we are drone agnostic, supporting virtually any drone manufacturer.
I'm shocked by the price, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we're amazing. We're good.
Really? Because even drone deploys,
that's why I have such a large adoption. Yeah.
160 just to really get started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it goes up from there.
In terms of drone deploy, we have also built in our mapping system. So in that case, we fully integrate with Pix4D. So we have SDK from Pix4D inside our platform, so you can not only capture the pictures and create waypoints to capture correctly, but also we can render that image, creating the mapping into the platform.
Capturing it's not hard, because you could use like DJI, the GS Pro, and capture it. It's the processing that's the hard part.
Yeah, and then you render that and create mapping.
That's rendering and creating it.
Yeah.
You can actually process very quickly through Pix4D Sync. So you can click there and process and render you process and you render your pictures here with our built-in Pix4D engine. And then once you have that, you can go to the precision analytics section and then perform all sorts of analytics on top of that and render and do the cloud point and all that stuff.
So it can be used for everything. Cell phone inspections, the agriculture.
Yeah. So pretty much
Disaster
support
response.
any type of application of
Any
drones
kind of application,
and
yeah.
industry. And as you can read there, we're a one-stop shop from
So
any drone software.
So right now, who's targeting it the most? Construction or?
Now we have a lot of projects in oil and gas, including mining, first responders,
Right,
like police departments. We have many deployments, and be very successful. We're very happy. We have been developing the software for the last 4 years,
Yeah.
so it's very comprehensive, a big platform, very powerful.
Well, Ed, thank you so
Great.
much for your time. I got to
pleasure.
check this out. I got to get it.
For sure.
No, I'm
More than
serious.
happy, yeah.
Thank you so much. All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Yeah. All right, guys, we are here with Andrew Lent. Andrew, where are you from?
I'm from Germantown, Maryland. Currently living in D.C.
Oh, yeah. I lived in Manassas for a year. That's the only other place I ever lived besides Texas. All right, so we are here with two of the most unusual drones I've ever seen in my life, Airgilty. How long y'all been in business?
Company's been around about 5 years.
And where y'all based out of?
We're based out of College Park, Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, cool. All right, and so let's start with the pancake-looking drone.
Yeah, of course.
And when it's flipped up, it looks like a ghost flying. It almost doesn't even look real. You know it?
Yeah, so this is a VTOL drone, as you can see here. So it can take off like a bicopter. We can do roll and yaw like this, and then pitch is done via the thrust vectoring system here. And then using that, we can also transition the vehicle to forward flight, and then fly like a regular fixed wing plane. And this drone is currently being marketed towards like a counter drone use case. So basically taking out an enemy drone. And we've done a lot of work with blob tracking and things like that, where we can go and basically see an enemy drone and attack from underneath like this, where the drone comes up, auto locks onto that target, and then just flies right into it. It's meant to be kind of a kinetic kill event.
Like a
So you're
suicide
just
mission,
trying to ground that drone, one-way mission, single use, but also fun to fly as well.
So if the president's in town and they see a drone, they can take it out.
Something like that, yeah. Maybe not the best over a crowd or anything like that, but for military bases, things like that, definitely very real use cases for that.
And the flight time on this one, pretty good.
So it depends. I mean, if you're flying it for like best endurance, you can get easily close to 30 minutes out of it. But if you're just trying to chase and climb and get up there, you're talking, probably 10 minutes if you're like turning and burning. And
Well, that's all you're going to get.
that's all you really need anyway. Yeah,
right.
It's meant to be one way.
All right, so this guy.
Yes, this is the DS1 Minotaur. This is our current product that we have out. I've got it off right now because we're starting to pack up. But basically, we've got a 2D rotating LiDAR on top. And with that, we're able to accomplish our navigation, collision avoidance, obstacle avoidance. Allows us to hold XY position in pretty complicated environments. We've done a lot of testing with that. And we're able to use this fused with the optical flow underneath to achieve that. And what that's also able to do as it flies is it's generating a 2D map at the slice of the world at which you're flying. And then from there, we can use that map to just kind of touch points on there, and the drone will path plan its way around. So you can get fully automated missions doing that. You can preload a path.
And this
if you're
is
just doing
VTOL
a-
also, right? It can
No,
turn-
yeah, it's VTOL in the sense that it's vertical takeoff like this, but then it flies like a regular quad. We have a version of it that's in R&D right now that does it using thrust vectoring, meaning that these entire nacelles
Units
will
will
pivot.
turn.
Yes. And that at the moment we're working on just for outdoor manual flight and things like that. It doesn't have this quite level of autonomy yet. Basically, the company decided. Go ahead.
Two cameras, right?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different camera combinations we can configure. This is a particular one called the DigiGimbal. And what this allows us to do is instead of wasting the weight and power of a regular gimbal, where it articulates up and down, we basically just put two 4K cameras on here, and that allows us to accomplish that tilt action because we stitch the images together. And then you can look up and down, and the advantage of that over a regular gimbal is one, weight, and two, you're recording this entire field of view, almost an 8K image at the end of the day.
Now, who thought of that?
That was the CTO of Andro. This was his idea, and we were the ones that had to execute it.
Because that's first thing that breaks on a drone is a gimbal.
Yes, exactly. So you've got this on here.
And are these lights?
These are lights, and those are embedded in the nacelles, and then we just use the props to cool the actual lights. So we've got heat sinks embedded inside these nacelles here, and the air just flows through and then out the bottom. And those are the batteries that we use.
These are FPV batteries almost.
Pretty much, yeah. They're just commercial off the shelf.
They're LiPo?
LiPo, yep. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done a ton of iteration on the batteries. Kind of found one we liked, and we're like, it works. No sense.
It works.
We changed it a bit to make it plug and play because we didn't want to go out of house for that.
And the
But
ground station?
The ground station, yeah. So we've got a tablet at the moment that we're working with, but this would be what we're shipping with. It's a handheld controller. Tablet in there, then you got your joysticks for if you want to manually fly it, but if you want to use all the autonomy, you'd have the touchscreen on there, and the comms would just be exactly, yeah. So we were flying with Wi-Fi, so you'll see a router in here, but we just recently were able to move over to the radio, just do peer-to-peer, so the tablet fits under there. And this all comes pre-included in the package for the our customers here. It's box drone. You got battery charger, which just fits there on top, and then you got an outlet on here if you want it.
Usually in the air in a couple minutes?
Yeah, you pretty much boot up. The boot up can take about 2 minutes to just kind of connect everything and take a moment.
You gotta get satellites now.
Well, no, there's no GPS on here. This is meant for GPS denied flight indoors. We don't even put a GPS in there.
Okay.
We could, if someone wanted to do that and fly outside, but it's all GPS denied. Oh, this fell down.
So trusses inside of convention centers?
Yeah, you could do something like that if you wanted to fly up and kind of inspect some of the trusses that are up there. That could, you could do something like that. We're also a lot of like sewer, pipeline, really confined spaces where you'd want to maybe send a drone in instead of a person to do that type of inspection. But yeah, very internal confined spaces. We're not talking outside like windmills or anything like that. While this drone could do that, it's not really designed to.
So in pipelines, would you tether it at all or not? Never?
No, just kind of send it down, and then it's got that autonomous return to home feature. Because we're doing the mapping on board using the 2D LiDAR, we're able to generate that map, and from there, it's doing that autonomous path. It can go beyond communication. If you go around a corner, a lot of times you're going to lose your radio comms, and there's no way around that. That's just the reality of flying in those types of scenarios. We can go beyond those comms, and then continue your mission. And you'll be blind. You're not seeing anything on the FPV screen, but the drone's keeping itself safe, and then it's going to come back to you. And that's how we would do it there, and that's why it's not on a tether.
But a specialty drone like this in industrial cases, the ROI could be 10 flights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just go out there, fly it a few times, and then you're saving insurance on the person you'd have to send in there. Whatever. And as long as you get that drone back a few times, you're good. And we've got the body here is fully 3D printed. So like when someone does come to us and say, hey, I want this sensor on board, super easy for us. They send the CAD over, and we.
Man, it looks like it would be a tough unit, other than just like the props, but that's that's all part of it.
Yeah,
Is there
exactly.
prop guards you can put on it?
Yeah, exactly. 1 second, let me grab that for you. And you can imagine, 4, and then just a full basket. Now it's not going to save it if you gun it at a wall, but that's this is doing the collision avoidance to prevent that. This is just if you're in a space where either the customer says, oh, this equipment's millions and millions of dollars, I don't trust you, basically, or if you're going in a really confined space, I would recommend still going with the prop guards just in case type of thing. But this does do it pretty well. So.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much. I look forward to the launch.
Perfect.
Seeing these out in the air. This is genius right here. This really is. I don't know.
Forgive the hot glue. That's just for
sometimes
for testing.
The most simplest things.
It's amazing. No, just the smallest stuff, and then it works great. We love it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys, we are here with Curtis.
Yeah.
Your last name?
Youngblood.
Youngblood. And where are you based out of?
Texas, College Station.
Oh, really?
Just down the road.
All right, awesome. I spent many weekends at Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's kind of gone now. Yeah, they put houses there now.
Yeah, there's kind of houses there. It still holds the land speed record. Is still at Texas World Speedway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ken Venturi.
I didn't know that. I literally live like half a mile from there.
Yeah. I road raced motorcycles for 9 years, so I've been there a lot. Yeah. So what do we got here?
This is the Anzen EG1250. It's a rotary engine gas, which is what's exposed right now. That's what's actually the main power plant of the aircraft. On the other end, it's kind of a duplicate, except in this case, instead of a gas engine, it's got electric on the other end. So
what's the payload?
The payload capacity is up to, we list 75 pounds, but it's actually up to 100-pound payload capacity.
So this is definitely over 55 pounds.
This is out of the 55-pound range. Yeah, this is where you got to be working with public groups and flying COA areas and that kind of stuff. Long term, obviously, we hope to get permissions to fly in more general areas around the U.S. But if you're flying just like a small ISR camera, like for search and rescue, which is what it was designed for, you get up to about 6-hour flight times on it.
Wow.
If you're carrying up to full payload, like in the 100-pound range payload, you may have an hour and a half or so.
That's still a long time.
Yeah, it's decent.
That looks like a Chinook, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the concept. I mean, everybody knows the Chinook works.
Yeah.
So you know this concept's going to work.
And my dad worked on those in the Marines. Yeah. And these helicopters?
Yeah, this is the
So these are under 55, right?
These we stay under 55 pounds. So this one's the electric Sicura. This is the gas Sicura. So we designed it around the LiDAR data collection, which we do a lot of. And so we're used to carrying about 12-pound payloads with it with the LiDAR.
Flight
time? Electric, you're about 20 to 25 minutes. Gas, you're about an hour and a half. Because I do a lot of multi-rotor flying too. The thing I really like helicopters for is it doesn't care about wind.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's still going to fly fine. A lot of fun.
And how many of these are in the air?
Well, the Sicuras, we've been flying it for our own use. U.S. Global Services, we do it in-house use for doing data collection stuff.
Okay.
The Anzen is new to the market. We just really released both each to the market recently. So they're new.
So how many of these exist?
Basically, just a few.
Just a few. Okay.
We have a lot of people interested in getting them, and especially in this size range, it takes a long time to get approvals and actually get them in the market. So they are new.
So is it all autonomous or is it both?
When we operate both of these, we tend to do takeoffs and landings manually, and then do all autonomous missions.
Right.
If you were flying from a given location all the time, the same location, then the full autonomous landing takeoffs is all fine. We tend to operate from new locations each time, and so we tend to prefer manual takeoffs and landings.
It's cool looking.
Oh, thanks.
It gives a cool factor for sure. Thank you. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching some of the people I got to meet and exciting concepts at the Energy Drone and Robotics Summit in Houston, Texas. So I got some good views coming out on this one soon. So be sure and stay tuned in. So if you got something out of this, please like and subscribe and hit that little bell so when those videos come out, it'll notify you and you can check out. It'll be just like you were there, right? You don't have to go. And in September, I'm headed to Las Vegas for the Commercial UAV Summit. So looking forward to that too. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Think it would take hours.
No, it's pretty quick.
I don't know. About 30 minutes.
What's the weight?
572 pounds.
She lifts 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, it'll carry twice.
Easily. It's going to be even more once I take the power up on her to 480 kilowatts. Right now we're at 336. We're going to go 480. And then we can dump about 3,000 pounds on the bottom of her, and she'll scream for more.